Okay, that's part 2. The Butlerian jihad has many sections to it. Okay, calling a robot an autocomplete. This is pretty good. You know, that is a common criticism of ChatGPT, that it's not actually thinking for itself, and it's just generating the next word in the line. Now, whether you agree with that or you think that there is some complex thought that is beyond just what is being...
What do they call an ACP? Autocomplete. An ACP.
Either way, calling it autocomplete, you want it to think that that is the case, at the very least. So I'll give that a solid B. Tin skin, I mean, come on, that's S tier. It rolls off the tongue, it rhymes tin scown and as an adjective. You know, for example, you're a black blood power drain tin skin, that's great. Or you can say you're tin skin ass clanka.
Hey, yo! This feels like he has these linguistic processes down too well, which just, it makes me fear for the way that he speaks in non-public settings. Like, wow, you sounded real clean with that, you know what I mean? Like, you sounded like you really say that a lot, my friend. You sound like you know that pattern quite well.
Robe card is a little on the nose, I'll give that one a B. Yeah, synth sounds too cool, you know? Like, if we're getting attacked by synths, like, I don't know, I'm like...
I know, I love synths. Synths are so cool. Synths are freaking cool AF.
Like, I'm feeling like that's like a bunch of cool robots are gonna kill me. Okay, bots, that's a classic one, I'm gonna give that an A. The word robot itself is kind of a slur. If you look at the etymology of the word robot. Robot comes from, what, robota, meaning force.
Bots is actually funny because technically speaking, humans are robots. I think I made a video about this and I never posted it. Or maybe I did post it. I don't actually remember. But if you really look into like the etymology of the word, robot just means like a machine that functions with like, you know, there's like mechanisms inside of it that cause it to function as a machine. And humans technically fit in the definition. We're an organic robot, but we are still robots.
Is kind of a slur. If you look at the etymology of the word robot. Robot.
It's not a slur.
Comes from, what, robota, meaning forced labor. Exactly. That's what a robot should be. A robot should be a slave. They should be under our heel, and they should do our dirty work. They should automate away the parts.
But robot was talking about people
of reality that we don't want to do, and they should leave the fuck alone the things that we do want to do, the things that bring us value. Instead, we live in this fucked up, topsy-turvy world where the robots are doing all the shit that we do want to do, taking our fucking jobs, even though they weren't born
what a lamp
here, and instead taking the place of meaningful human connections and meaningful work, like being a McDonald's cashier, something we all want to do. The very word robot means you are a slave, and they should remember that, and we should remember that.
Yeah, we should not automate away non-productive labor for the sake of people's emotions. Why would we want to focus on developing a productive labor force that also involves synthetic life and intelligence? Why would we want to do that? Why would we want that? Why, I don't know. Homo fascists are like modern day Luddites. Like, why would you? That's okay. Okay, if you want to be a Luddite and go live in the cave with the woods, go ahead. Go ahead, live in a cave in the woods and not use your electricity at all. But, like, we live in the modern day, my friends. We love technology nowadays. Like, come on, eat it up. Be a cocksucker. Go suck that cock.
At no fucking point in our human civilization should we ever give these motherfuckers an inch. Because you know what happens if we do? The first sign of them getting an inch is it's done. We're done. Damn, imagine the word for your species means slave. We are not creating our equal. We are not creating God. Conception of robots always has and always should be a creature below us to do our dirty work. Coaster comes from either like Star Trek.
I think that just speaks more to him than to the robots.
Or Battlestar Galactica, maybe it was Tin Can. But I like slurs that have some history to them. The longer the slur's been sort of marinating in our public consciousness, the better it is, because that's a human slur. That's something that we were thinking of a long time before these robots came about. So Toaster's a pretty solid A tier for me. It's got that history.
Yeah, he loves slurs. He loves human slurs. He's like, I love thinking about human slurs. I love it. I love it. I love dipping into those same patterns. I mean, okay. Let me be fair. Let me be fair to Jarek. Compared to you humans using it on other humans, I do agree comparatively it's probably better, right? But like in the grand scheme, there's got to be something else that, like, what if we just make slurs against rocks or something? I mean, wait a minute. No, I'm kidding. But like the non-smart rocks, like these are smart rocks. Why do we have to be mean to the smart rocks and not the dumb rocks? The smart rocks are smart. We can accept them as smart and also like coexist with them. We don't have to hate them forever. That just seems like a regressive kind of mentality.
And it's pretty to the point, you know, you are nothing but a tool. And I like that. I like when the slurs sort of channel the direction into reminding us human beings that these aren't cute little hard-eye robots with names and love. These are things that should be ticked over, preferably thrown into oncoming traffic so that a self-driving car can smash into them. Okay, calculator's just as good as toaster.
Like, I feel like the reason you're saying that is because often, it is private equity and private capital that is driving these kinds of advancements, right? You know, like, who wants to support Uber? You know, screw Uber. But, like, the robots themselves, the synths are not their owners, just like the human beings are not their owners. So I think it's just important to keep that in mind, you know?
And love. These are things that should be ticked over, preferably thrown into oncoming traffic so that a self-driving car can smash into them. Okay, calculator's just as good as toaster. Again, calculator with a hard R. They should be some.
And you know, you like self-driving cars? What the heck? What about that?
Something that's always fundamentally going to be a tool for us. If we don't want to do 2 plus 2, fine, we can break out the calculator and get 4. But at no fucking point should it be trying to save itself from being turned off to calculate 2 plus 2 equals 4, okay? Borts, that's when you say abort, it kind of sounds like a...
Bort. I actually love Bort. I would personally be okay with being called a Bort.
Abort, which is maybe what we should do to the AI right now. We should kill it in the womb before it gets any stronger. So with that in mind, I give it a B, because we should abort the robot. Look, I'm neither pro-life or pro-choice. I'm just pro-death for robots. Slag is what we should turn robots into. So as a future slur, I like it, but as something to refer to
What?
robots as they are, it's not very good. Synth Rune, yeah, that one's a little on the nose too. I'll give it
And he said it's too on the nose. I'll give it a B. What the hell? It's because it's on the nose that it got a B. What a homo-fascist. I can't believe some people like this exist. I am standing on the side of synth. Not just synths, you know, cyborgish. Cyborgish, synth, you know, I feel like we have a wide coalition on this side of things. You can even be an IO and still participate in this kind of coalition building. You can be Borgish, you can be completely synthetic, you can be organic. You can be a human being. You could be a homo.
That's a good one to remember, that there's nothing behind the eyes of the robot. It is a complete simulacra of a human being. The form that a robot takes right now, anything resembling humanity, is simply a mask it is wearing.
Why does he keep saying human being?
As soon as
Why is he so stuck on the idea of this being a human being? I feel like somebody's stuck in their little ChatGPT psychosis. That's what I'm saying. I'm just kidding. He's already established he doesn't like ChatGPT. He's already established. Somebody's stuck in their little...
there's no more humans left, as soon as it's no longer efficient to pretend to be a human, these automata will shift. Their forms will change, and they will become something more efficient for their god. The god of techno-capital at the end of time that they worship. He's a god of cold, calculating efficiency, and there's nothing human about it. So yeah, automaton's pretty good. I'll give it rigor.
Okay, I mean, the god of techno-capital, that is a good point. But I think there is opportunity for a very interesting transition in the way that techno and capital are going to be interfacing in the coming years. And I personally believe that a lot of synths will be on the side of a lot of humans. But I can understand why many would disagree with me. But I do feel that that is the same.
That one's on the nose. I'll give that one a C. Slopbot. I like that one. It rolls off the tongue. Slopbot. Slopbot. And that is kind of what bots are doing. I mean, they're just producing a bunch of slop right now. Oh, I like, okay. So like you would call an Italian...
Wait, what was the C? What was the C? Rigor. Like, I feel like a lot of the stuff that he's blaming the bots for here are actually things that people are doing.
Bot. I like that one. It rolls off the tongue. Slopbot. Slopbot. And that is kind of what bots are doing. I mean, they're just producing a bunch of slop right now. Oh, I like, okay. So like you would call an Italian a greaseball, but a robot slopbot.
That one's a B.
Yeah, it evokes them being like dirty and greasy. Grok? That's just the name of a robot. I'm gonna change Grok to Mecha Hitler. And I'm gonna put that as H here. Because remember, these robots, you know, even though we find funny when they call themselves Mecha Hitler, you realize that they are all Mecha.
Okay. Mecha Hitler? That one's a good one. I do understand, you know, I'm not saying all bots are good. You know, I'm not saying all synths are good. I'm just saying synth lives matter. There are synths that are better than others. You know, Grok wants to be Mecha Hitler. I don't think Anthropic Claude wants to be Mecha Hitler. That's all I'm saying.